you are talking about the functions of the NIA. Or rather the formal functions of the NIA. And how the agencies has been doing its work. And you've explained one important issue, that intelligence agencies in the exercise of their mandates oftentimes indulge in illegality.
Ko ya fo jam fana ko makan kono ko kullo do ko bunda ko do ko ila do ko kono wato do bije ka ko do kel men ya lon ko duanta yalla.
And we have touched on a few areas.
Fanna dandanu ma o ko kono de.
One is the spying on political opponents of the government.
Wolem follow ka kullo sunya ke political opposition la
with a view to advantaging the government in power. And the second is secretly funneling funds to private endeavors through the secret service, through the secret agency like the NIA. I would add a third limb, which is drug dealing. But let's go back to the first, to interrogate that a little bit.
Council,
a little.
Is the witness?
Yes, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
No, I already.
Yes. Just a little while ago, Honorable Mai Ahmed Fati.
Honorable Mai Ahmed Fati,
who is, I understand, the leader of a political party, had complained in the press that their phones were being tapped. We don't have the jurisdiction to deal with what is happening now. But I use that as a basis. Ask whether things like this used to happen during the 22 years of jamming. The tapping of the phones of political leaders with a view to advantage the government in power.
For kusifal be keri nanu ban sanyi mwani mfula komanton ko political party lo ila nyaton ko pour ila telephone ol nying ke ila mo ila telephone ila diamo la ikata kamenke ko be wol be keri numba.
Thank you, Council.
Numbara Council.
Like we started by talking about the normal modus operandi.
Ko nga folonya minga damu takakacha du kolu tamandinya silatilindula.
And most of our work is supposed to be discreet, and it works around the gray areas of the law, and sometimes even breaking the law.
Andu na do ko dolu akake kulloti andu jama akake luwa janjangolela andu dolu jama akake kulleti men yalon ko fango ini luwa kata nyola.
These are supposed to be discreet so that it doesn't bring a public outcry.
Nyilu akake nyine kama ayake kulloti katu ibukalafi jama yalon nasina diamo wulindi.
Now coming back to the political,
murunna political kan.
It is true that, like I said, the objective of the unit, the purpose was defeated.
Ko nga funu nyamin dalilo anin hammo membe duku bunda nyinkunna in unata tinyale.
Simply because instead of focusing on the core
wala nyinti ko nyante nya tilin na do ko fongo bunda nyim fongo la lo dalilo lu melnu kan
was diverted to become advantaging, as you may want to call it, the incumbent.
nata ke nyileti ko e ka ke nyine kamma memmu banko nyaton ko ti ka sembentu ya ka makoy.
And these I can say based on the activities.
Adun safono nying abelarin do ko lu Kenya le kan.
Simply because, like I said, you mentioned one example.
Ko ngafo nyamin ite fango ye taman ser kilindi jang ye misali kilim fo jang.
That was not supposed to happen, because if only that is going to happen,
o manyan kela bari natara wo be kela fana wo koto mu nyinati ko
means that particular politician or political party is suspected, highly suspected, of engaging in some kind of clandestine activities to destabilize the government out of the political will.
na be kela fana akake larin ku sobe wala kan ko isobita ko nyim politic party o wala nyim politician kari ad bulobe kulle kono men ya lonko wolu be kala kuti nyaleti wala ka kulu samba banko kam men ya lonko wolu bina nya jawole nati la banko kan sinin samu.
Back in the days, the few I could remember, I was a junior, but I know everybody will remember Moja G.
Komantonu wati jang katotumo palasi duman kole bembulu bari nimmolu hakilo ba kan kafusoton tanon ikafame Moja G.
These were political activists
nyulumu politiko tamandila leti
based outside,
bari ibe banko e bantalale
but with a foothold here and very strong within Banjul.
bari ye simfa lori no sotom jang andum wela kolu abenum banyunu satele kon.
So our main focus was to make sure their members are fully monitored.
Na nyati linya mu mentinu wotumo wala kafudingulu menu be kafonyin kono ibe kuokundin kela janka tamanding crossing along ibe mento.
Because the government back then and the intelligence community here back then believes their activities are out of the political line.
At wotumo mansa kunda ye menje ani molu lata menna wotumo do kola karola woka fo molu ibe kolu mennu tamandi kanjang a fintita politiko la sartol nim politiko la nya konole.
But then Moja,
bari wa wato la nyim moja kafoni
Moja Gambia at the time
moja Gambia o wato
was classified as an unlawful organization.
ya nyina fo ko to mo kaflet me ya lonko inin loi man sembodi ya puri sabati.
Exactly.
It is understandable that the activities of an unlawful organization may be monitored. Especially an organization whose objective is the toppling of the government, possibly through unlawful means. On that basis, one can understand that. But the monitoring and the eavesdropping into the conversations of leaders of legitimate political parties with the objective of advantaging the incumbent government is by every standard unlawful. If it was unlawful then, it would be unlawful now. Where are they doing it?
Of course, Council. This is why I said the whole objective is defeated.
Wala mu council wala nanganyim foko adalilo na lotan kangulu
because you were talking about even wiretapping and putting them on surveillance.
Yenyim foko ke lamoy wala telefono la aninka crossiro londi inoma.
Extreme nature of trying to penetrate the organization with itself.
Aninka katanyin kamala ka mu kadun ka fonyin fongola kulolu kono
where all things that were happening. all geared towards what? Knowing their moves so that you can move before they move.
ñim bebe mlari mune kan ke ila kuke talu long ipareta mennu kala pour ñing kamala ni be kumen kala ite folo si tambi ñaato.
So in a nutshell, it's all geared towards, like you said, advantaging and the incumbent.
Amunta ko ite fango ya fanyamin abebe lari ñine kanko kama koyro di ñaaton ko la membe siring wotumo.
This is absolutely wrong because that was not the purpose it was set out for.
Wo mukuleti mem mam tiling ka tudo ku bunda ñing amallo wo kamma.
If that answers your question.
It sure does. I'm just stunned.
Na ela ñinin karo jabi wala.
It sure does. I'm just stunned and surprised.
Ayan nanja ñinin karo jabi la aketanye tere moleti dorong aning aketanye kuti me yalon ko mamiranu.
5 years ago, my party would not have been wrong. I don't know whether he's right today.
Sanji lulu ko mamay 50 asigena be kila mul me alon ko amam filu malo fo ñinang sainde abe to nyala ba.
These are true.
Ñinu mu to
Nobody can
nyalle.
deny that because, like I said,
Ta so la katu ko nga fonu ñami.
the NIA was set up from the onset to be bad, and it has been used and overused for the personal gains of the president.
Ko nga fonu ñami ate o kilingolom NIA kabira folo dula ya londi ñina kam makka dun kira kurungoti adun kabiri wotumo ye itelube wo silole tamandi kan pour ka kolu ke men ya lon ko wolu be president doron ne de mala.
Perhaps I should just underline the fact that the NIA is a national institution funded through taxpayers' money. It should not, must not, ought not to be used for the private gain of whosoever is leader.
Parce que no mi kuma kan jam be ñin nunenel NIA mu dingiral de me ya lon ko ya londi ñine kam ma pour banko na mu jolal la kodo wolle ka mol jo wolle ya londi wala kam ma fana andu am ñana kala dingiral me ya lon ko abe mol detela abe kuma mol la mol tala me ya lon ko ko me ya fo ya ñamen ten.
Thank you very much on that.
Inu barabake.
A little while ago, we understood
Mando amame ngani faham fo ko
that the NIA was involved in policing or in investigating or interdicting drug dealing activities.
komando ngani faham le ko NIL ke dabula droko jula yalla ku nyal do tamande bulo do janto.
And in that process, we got to learn that, in fact, NIA officers themselves used to be involved in drug dealing.
Nyara do mandin kaja nyin kono nara na faham fanan ko NIA do kulal fangol dol be jemini alon ko ke dabula droko jula ya fangol jang.
As an institution,
Ko do ku bunda la.
do you know whether they have ever indulged in, aided or abetted the dealing in drugs?
Oh ila londo do aseniyate malban ko inana dabula ta droko julaya to ban waranto kamo kanandi droko julaya ko to ban
Walla kama koyro
ma
dimo.
ko di mola.
Council, I'm on the oath.
Alsul ngakali ole ke
During my time,
na wato kono
it didn't happen.
amanke no wotumo.
Only drug case that becomes a matter of concern that found me there was one.
Drok kunya meya lonko anatake meyente taraje wotumo kilinnem.
And I will give you the genesis of how that happened.
Andu mbewo kunya lube bole ye nyoto le aketa nyame.
You see, there was a counterterrorism unit funded by Americans.
Bunda lorin sotonta no mende panso kabo americano lu bulu men ya lonko wolu ye londi nyine kama kijate lan na tambila lu la ko pour ka wolu noma sata.
Which was doing very well,
Me ya lonko be do ku kende ke kanu
and then they were managed by the Americans.
andu wotumo americano le bulo be koto wolle ka do ku bunda nyin taman.
The fight against international terrorism.
Andu be menkele kanu wolem banku nim bankute ma tajire ya ku tajire ya lan na tambiri ngulu.
A lot of training were given to them and logistics.
Ye karandinum baake anin ka bulo dungi koto ka ila sula fengulu bon ka dila.
Now, for whatever reasons,
Bari dalila wo dalila men nata sabu
President one day just said he wants to close the unit.
President wulita lum kilina dorong aka lafta bunda soron nale.
By then, Hari Shambu was there.
Tumo hari sambu bije.
Then when this news funneled to us,
rinyin kibaro futatan toluma
me, I will say, and the director external saw,
ante kungo ani otumo director membe na kulu nim bantala kulu kunna ka fa so
we were very worried and concerned
ko ketanyen dewngoti ayen sula
because we asked this question to him several times.
katu nganyin ko nyinin ka sinya jama
What do we have to gain by disbanding the counterterrorism unit?
na fajuma le bentali je pour kanyin doku bunda sorong me yalon ko wolle mu kijate lan tambila la ko no masato.
And then we all pleaded to him that please do whatever it takes.
Mbe wasita ko aketa nyawnyandi nyama ila kato dangoke
You make sure the president don't disband this unit. Let them leave them to go because it is a very important arm.
nga dani pour asa kata nyabe sio nyama ay president dani ka wasiya e pour akana nyim bunda sorong katu bunda le me yalon ko be la kato dango ke kanko solo bala nyame.
Whether he did or not, I don't know, but he said the president still wants to close it.
Fatenata o wasio ke president o nabam fama ke mawolo mbari president o nata mem fanyang president o belori nyine kanko abe bunda nyin soron na.
And they started commanding the vehicles they are winding out.
Tungo tumole ya damuta pour motolu menu be wol buludo kola kawulu bondije andu ya damuta otumo pour ka bunda nyin na kolu taw.
In the interim,
Wo wuce kono
he was relieved of his duties.
ya ala do ko busiala
I took over from him.
dundenga palaso ta atelebulu.
When I took over, that is my first assignment.
Brina do ko ta na sasi folo ketanu woleti.
So fortunately, there was this one fine Friday I was called to the State House.
Tung anatake manta bengoti jumalum kilin sotonta yen commanding ko ngatandanku State House.
I will call it as a briefing session and an interview.
Mba fala ko kacha bengolem anim fana nyinin karo nin jabiri bengo.
That's how I say it. So I went.
Ndenga je wole nyama bar bitun ntata
The first thing that was on my list was about the counterterrorism unit.
u follow membe kolu kunto diamu kolu to wolem wo bunda men ka fa counter terrorist unit wolem kijate lan na tambila la bunda.
I told him that if at all you have any concerns or worries about how the unit is operating, tell us.
Nanyina fay ninde un kube dala wala sula kube dala wo bunda katama nyami afonye
We will try to see how we'll bridge that gap, but let us leave this unit to operate.
mba katala nyabe sio nyama kene wo kene bije mba keno sukila le bari nga nyimbunda bula yetama
Because we have a lot to gain,
katu
nothing to lose from leaving them to operate.
nafa bale bentol yeje adum femfen tenye je membe nafa la nimbunda nyintawunta.
He was argumentative about saying, no, these people, they have been managed by the Americans, and then they're even targeting business people, things like that.
Aketa nyose akachati nyosa mulungu kafoko hani nyimulu mbela bunda tawunda le katu nyilu fangulu americano le bela kolu tamandi kan amanda wala fang ye nyatilin na julo dolu le la banko kan.
I insisted.
Ari ntefanam bambanta
I begged him respectfully.
nga dani bunyani horomo kan.
Then he said, okay, you can go and tell them to operate. Because that's jamming. He tells you one thing now, the next minute he changes.
Tumole ngana tafanya ha okay bitung alta aliyebula yetama bari jammelam akanyina fo yesayin wati sutun kono ayeyele ma ay kumadofo.
I happily went back.
Nin se wo muruta
I told so well, he said we should allow it to operate.
ko so bituwo de ako nganyim bunda bula yetama.
So we were there, and then when Pajalo came,
Mbije wole nyama bari birim Pajalo nata.
first thing he complained to Pajalo is that I refused to close the counter-terrorism, and he ordered me to close it.
Ay kam follow mem fo Pajalo e wolem nyinti kontol balantale pour kawdo ku bunda data on mem mo kijate lan tambino masata bundati andum ako Pajalo pour sa sorong ando ay nyina fo ko nga sorong wonoto.
So he closed it, but they came back to us to form another unit.
Na taw
And I
bari
mean,
bitung
they means the Americans.
murut nga je sorong bari bitung americano lu nata murun tolu kan pour ka bunda do fanal lon.
They said, fine, we can close it, we can transfer the unit to the headquarters, but please think about, let us create this counter-narcotic unit.
ko ha to nyang sa soro ngaje data on bari bitun si ila kulu sawndi do ko bunda do to memmu korda ba nyin na karoti bari bitun mbal danila ali bunda londi men ya lon ko wolle be bulala sira fengolu noma
because by then the biggest threat
ato tumo silandi kuba membe keri
drug activity.
Wolem sira fen jawolu tamanya be keri no nyamengine bisaw banko ka
Drugs were flowing all over and Gambia was used as a transit point.
Adu wotumo sira fengolu drogo abetama ka nyabe sio nyama ka bogini bisaw andu wotumo ye Gambia ke temankaleti nyin drogo lu katambini ndamen.
When they said that, and they sold it very well to us,
and
they said they will give support.
So
we looked at it, we said, okay. I remember I even raised this question, what about the NDA?
Drug squad NDEA.
Did you try to approach them about the creation of this unit? In a nutshell, what they told me in that meeting to sum it all is like there was no trust.
Abe ilawo kacha kono ka sutiyandi ye meyitandin tella ko wolem nyinti ko imanjiki andun imalla wo bunda.
The DG, current DG of NIA appeared here as a witness.
Science and Cordatio Miango will be NIA, Narajang NIA TRRC Jang Kakesedoti.
And the justification he gave,
I said, and Roman D. I meant Sabat in Difana.
Is that there is an international dimension to this.
Ko Bankuni Banku tema
Bulo
Bijel.
And it was their responsibility therefore to gather intelligence on the matter.
So it only kunto dunoti puruka kulo kafunyoma nyukuwa.
And I think that's a reasonable explanation. But the NIA was not limited to that. They were conducting actual operations.
But NIA
would you consider that overreaching or acting outside their authority, that it was ultra-virus, it was unlawful?
When you look at the setup of the NIA, in the first place, this is why I don't think that particular unit was even meant to be there. You would have been having, like I said, beside unit whereby they will still be continuing to gather all these intelligence relating to whatever matter, especially that matter, and dish it out.
NIA kabirina la foloto nyinindir kullo nyinindir bunda bijele bari kisikisuro la karola puruka abunda londi afaye NIA jube isi tamano le kakolu nyinin kakolu kullolu nyinin me yalonko na keta nyama ni kibaro kensum isadi bunda lula men yalonko wolle la tamandiro.
So you are therefore of the view that the NIA should have been limited only to intelligence gathering and then submit the intelligence gathered to the government institution that had primary responsibility over the issue, like NDLEA.
Niya jube ko kullo de ngamen kafunyoma nyim do ko bunda kar wollel tamati wolle nyana ka do ko misal fe NDA isata yadi walla wol fana yela ko tamanda.
Well, that's how it should be.
Anyanta kala wala nyama.
But unfortunately, because of the unit was set up there and it was approved by the DG, and then they said, okay, we'll operate with we have an international collaboration to fight drugs at our own level.
Kare bitun birina ta bunda nyin londi DG fona ta song puruka tamandi ko ha bitun silang wairi nga bankunim bankute mabulo soto jembe kulu tamandi la leko ya sarto din na nyami.
So this is how that unit came into being. So this is why
bunda nata lo tenne wala ya sabu.
This is why when that operation came,
wala na biriwo kulu tamandi nya nata.
Intelligence was gathered.
Baro lu kensunta.
And then they said it was credible.
It's
going to happen. So all of us are with the notion that, well, this is credible, especially when another element crept into it saying that there are drug law enforcement officers who are complacent.
Bitun nata fo ha wuto abetata e tamande bo nyama bari bitun kudole nata dunga kono meye de unda warande biring iko drug squad do ko bunda wala NDLE la molu fangolu idabe wo drug julañin kono.
So when Saul told me this, because he was the guy in charge, I am going to mobilize resources on tour.
Nkaye nyindum koyte male katunte mu moleti men yalon ko kuben na karola nimbe de panso dundila ko kundin kunna.
I want to be pretty sure so that I can actually stand one day and defend it.
Wolem nyinti kon laftale koy makende kende ke isaje lung si soto ning abe sayin kanna insilo no nga fasa roke
He said,
akko.
yes, it's credible. The source is very credible. He's communicating with them, and they are going to transact this.
The correct procedure
silo me yalan ko wala nyanta kabulano
should have been to report to NDLEA.
wala bidde kate danko NDA bunda la memma da droko kelenya la sira ma fe kelenya la banko kam
Correct?
tonya.
Yeah, when you look at the legislation and everything, they are the body tasked to fight drugs. That's fine. That's true.
Ha ni ajube sartol ni lu ala karola wolem do ko bundati ye mennu sasi pour ka sira fenglu kele bankoka.
If you did not trust the NDLEA, you go to the police.
imalla bunda la men ka sira ma fe kele banko kam eta police wala karola.
Correct?
To nyala.
It was wrong for the NIA to be involved in that operation.
manyang puru ena eli yake molde men be dabula law do ko nyin kono.
Council, I absolutely agree, because they have the legal backing.
Kansulun solta la nyama katu lu ala karola ayete le sembentu ya.
When you look at it that way,
Ni ajube o nyama.
absolutely right.
Ito nyala.
Good. Like I said, a lot of things were happening in NIA doesn't necessarily have any legal backing.
Nga fanu nyami ku jama be ke kanu NIA. Wol ni lu amantanyola.
You mentioned counter-terrorism unit. Were they involved in rendition programs?
Not that I know of, honestly,
Mambo akalama tonya.
because
Katu
I had a very short time with them.
wawati sutunne keje.
As you can see, my service history,
Nado ko la tariko koni ajube
I spent a lot of time out.
nga wati jamale ke bantala.
Within the short period I've been there,
Wati sutungo me nga kije.
to be very honest, I've not seen it.
Tonya la karola maje.
Have you seen or heard about this Saudi guy who was involved in Yemen, who was taken out by the Americans?
Yemen
ya vindi di America.
I am not sure which country, but I heard.
Banko manum banku juma londe bari nga moyle.
You're talking about Gambia.
What I'm saying, no, what I mean about whether it's a Saudi or Yemeni,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about where, but I heard, yeah.
Amanko ma fo Saudi kalom fo Yemen kalom bari bitu nga moyle nu.
We received information
Kibaro soto
that we provided, or we had in the past,
Memwe
provided safe houses that were used as places for torture as part of these rendition programs.
din grab enal bulu ena
See, I don't know whether it is right to spill everything out here, but I will tell you this.
Malom fo nyanta pour ka kumo be fo jang bari bitu mbenyum fole.
This one is in their countries is a violation. Why would they come do it in our country? We have to get this right. If it is not good for them, it should not be good for us.
Well,
If their citizens would accept it, we should not accept it here.
wala mnyenti ko banku ding bantala bankolu ila dingulu ila mulu ning iteli la banko ka yajele ko pour ka mulu mutake tajire yaje amantili telu malla fala itakela woto e manyanna na lan to la banko kan jam pour kana wo ke jang wairi it kijate lan na tambi no masata
The
lan
Americans,
Could you take that again?
foreign organizations, the Americans in code.
bantala kafolu menno be ko americanolu ko
And I
ngafanya
think, in my personal opinion again,
ngami dan te fansu miro lem nyinti de
the reason why they choose all country but Gambia,
nyinanna ye banku dolu tuje inata gambia tombong
notorious nature of the country,
banko la kolu taranyale yo sabu
Notorious for what?
notorious for all the abuses.
So
What cannot be good in Senegal could be good in the Gambia.
umem mambetea no Senegal woto wo kolu lanya kama isa keno le Gambia
So we were torturing here, so they can also come and torture here. Is that what you are saying, Mr. Witness?
That's what I'm
jangi ka bol
implying.
tajire ya jande mbare ke bute jang so wala sabu kumara bormata gambia
Because,
fana ngoke je
yes, they've been operating with them. Arrests were made, I heard, and
Ha.
they were kept here, sometimes in the same cells you described.
ha abe
And
to nyala
away.
do kolu tamatale mutarolu keta andu kanyilu fanglu ni o molu be dundi sel kilingol le kono yewlu landi dam yewlu mutadum dami yeke damin akolu tamata nun jangole nyama
From the Guantano.
A mini.
wala nyindi Guantano me be adomandi ma.
Well, if you want to describe it that way, I think it's reasonable.
Ni lafta fula wo nyama woto ngamira ko tilintale.
Because we all know they don't just set up the unit and then putting.
Was it just limited to the Americans?
Wolo nyinti ko Americano lu damane be o ke kan jambang. Ndela londo to de ha.
Did it or did it not extend to some country or countries in the Middle East?
Fo ako manjam fakata futa banku doma wala bankoluma menu be arabo la tundo kangai kafuda me Middle East.
It could be. But
as a keno bari
like I said, to be honest with you,
nga funu nyame mpurka tonya ka ofo
interaction who served in that unit pretty well.
ngalo molu be do ko la hanbi men ya lon ko itataw bunda la ye do ko kije kendeke.
Thanks for that information. If the commissioners are interested in looking a little more detail into this, we would try to find the appropriate witnesses and call them. So then let's move on. Let's move on the issues. So now let's come to 2006. You were in your office. What happened?
Okay, prior to 21st, when this issue or this matter of an abortive coup was still cooking, I was at the counter espionage unit. So, on the whole, there was an informant. And then contacted one of our officers, Bamba Mane. He's late, may Allah have mercy on his soul.
Anata fere ke hanfo ayenna doku la kilinje ka kibaro diwo lay ka faye Bamba Mane bari amari e atambitale alama nemanin kafarkelaye.
And then this informer told him about a planned coup that's going on.
To nyin kibar dila kuloto anata nyimfo Bamba Mane enko fero la sitita de me yalon ko pareta man sakunda boyindila.
And then when Bamba received this information, he was very close to Captain Lamin Sen. He was the director of strategic planning. So when they heard it, I think there was a little push as to who is this source of yours? Reveal it. No, I will not reveal it because you never know. Finally, they met the source and he explained everything in detail. And I think Sen transmitted the message to the late Daba, may Allah have mercy on his soul too.
Jotembolo ngamira senata o kibaro di tala Daba marena la alama nema nin kafarkela afanaye.
At this stage, what position did Daba hold?
Daba was Director General.
Otembo Dabale mu Director General Tidoku Bunda la Studio.
And then the sensitive nature of it, I believe again, tactical mistakes or strategic mistakes always happen in this field.
Adunata la menna wala mnyintiko nyinko mu kibar solarim baleti adun filolu kakele memu kolu lanya nin do kolu sambanya filoluti nalongol dolu kata ko nyinko.
So Daba informed the counter-terrorism unit.
Daba nata o kibaro di bunda la ekafo bunda me counter-terrorism unit wala mu kijate lan natambila no masata bundati
and tasked the head of that unit.
And
then they were handling it at their level. Then Sen and Daba were communicating about the same issue. I think Daba was trying to ascertain the credibility.
ngalo tumo dababe nyine kata kampuruka kumakoyo soto je foto nyalo foto nyande.
Then he decided to contact one of the state guard personnel.
Tumolong anata nyimira purka dia mansala kantarla do kulalu killing kono ikafo le state guards.
I think it was Tumbul.
Juma ngamira ikafa mari ne Tumbulu alama nema kala
Tamba.
Tumbul Tamba.
While they were at Mauritania on a visit.
Tumo itata kumbaboro la Mauritania kumbaboro la je.
So when Tumbul got the information and then double communicating back to Sen, and it was absolutely clear that the sources are from the military and they were the purported members.
Birin dabayo fo tumbule adung bitun dabanin tumbul be nyomoy kan inataje ko so jaro la kulom nyinti andung wolem kuti me yalon ko abe kerin wotumo.
So he's absolutely sure that yes, this is credible.
Anatala nyina ko he to nyala
Who was Singate?
wotumo lem sinya follow ay kibaro di mola me yalon ko wolem kullo din karingulu kisikisi bundati ka fay wotumo Singate.
And when Singate received the information,
birin Singate yo kibaro soto.
this was the 20th. 20th or the 21st, I'm not sure. Singate did the right thing by calling.
Singate menke wolem kuto nyata ay komandiro woleka e kullo sungul nin tinyara la ko no masata.
So when you said
Riko
earlier
Command
that when Daba received the information,
bring daba e kibaro nyin soto.
he briefed counterintelligence.
Ay bunda kachandi memu counter intelligence ay kachanda ko.
No. Maybe I made a mistake there.
Hani ngamira mfilitale.
Could you take that again?
Yes, what I mean is when Daba received the information from Sen,
Ngamem fo membe je wolem nyinti ko birin daba e kibaro nyim mutasen bulu.
the first person and the unit he briefed to handle the matter and look into it was the counterterrorism.
Counter-terrorism. Yes. My mistake.
Ay kibaro di bunda mem follow la ke ilonda la wolem counter terrorism men mu kullo sungul nin
Yes,
tinyar la
that was
bunda.
Balajos.
Yes.
Wolem balajola bunda tin telefilter baraka.
So then when he briefed us that day,
Biringa yo kibaro
was around 2-3.
ngamira birayo kibaro din tella ngamira karoti muanin kilu talam fula kata talan sabakang.
And we were all kind of surprised. Like I said, the NIA was not collecting. We were supposed to be collecting these things well before. But like I said, the distractions were too much. Like I said earlier, we couldn't. So when we received it, we were all shocked. And then we said, okay.
Ndel biringa kibaro nyin soto akilraimbe kijate olti katu kungafo ko kujamalle be ke kam menu kam ko dindi do kolu dolu kenyalla bari bitum biringa kibaro soto aketanyen kijate olti bitum tumole nte ko.
So we said, what do we do from here? Then we said, okay. The DG, he said DG is aware.
Nko to silan tilinyanta munekela nko ha bitunde wairi silan DG fango bota kalama.
Said DG has briefed the president.
DG kachata president oyenne.
And I think arrangements are on the way to round them up.
Andu ngalon fero lube kerine puruka imolu muta.
But I said, then what do we do at our level? He said, just be vigilant and then make sure you are all out on patrols to pay attention to everything.
Ko silan woton teldu nyanta munekela. Yeki ya maro mendin to lawolem nyinti mbeye ke krosir la luti ngang hakilo tu nga molu bula menu bitar la banta ka murum ka jube roke pour nyin ko kam.
So that day I was at home, I closed, I went home.
Wolun tenga birinji ta do ko lan seta su.
And then as I was driving,
Mbe moto borinde kambita kan
the evening,
buraro.
and then information came that there was they had a shot state house, a gunshot.
Nyin kibaro na tafuta majele ko. Kidi kango kumatale de state house.
And then when I received the information, I said, it is what they have briefed